Hey guys, in this video we shall discuss on infinite length sequence to find Z transform and its ROC. We'll take up an example. Say the sequence x of n is equal to a power n u of n. Okay, and this sequence is infinite in length. How did I say that? Because I have u of n, and u of n is defined for n varying from 0 to infinity, right? And it's a right-sided sequence. Again, how did I say that it's a right-sided sequence? It is nothing but what? If I plot it, it is actually exponentially increasing sequence or exponentially decreasing sequence depending upon what is the value of a. Okay, if 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 a is in between 0 and 1, it is a exponentially decreasing signal. If a is greater than 1, it is a exponentially increasing sequence. Okay, but it's an exponential sequence, right? And in case if it is exponentially decreasing, this is how it looks like. So for n equal to 0, it is 1. For n equal to 1, 2, 3, it goes on decreasing, right? So this is n. So I'm assuming that a is in between 0 and 1, so that it's a exponentially decreasing sequence. Okay, fine. So it's a infinite length right-sided sequence. Why right-sided? Because all the amplitudes are in positive sides of n. Okay. Now I need to find its Z transform and ROC. Okay. Solution. What is the Z transform equation? X of Z is equal to summation n varying from minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n, right? So x of z is equal to summation. So in this example, n is varying from 0 to infinity, so n is equal to 0 to infinity. For n varying from 0 to infinity, what is x of n? X of n is a power n u of n, but I don't write u of n because u of n is 1 for n varying from 0 to infinity. Okay, a power n times 1 into z power minus n. Okay, so left out term z power minus 1, and this is equal to summation n varying from 0 to infinity. I can write it as a into z power minus 1 whole power n, right? And this I can write it as summation n varying from 0 to infinity a by z whole power n. I can write like this, no? Fine. Now I can use the standard result which we had discussed a number of times in the previous videos. So what is this? Summation n varying from 0 to infinity alpha power n. This is equal to what? 1 divided by 1 minus alpha, right? Provided magnitude of alpha should be less than 1. So this is the condition. Okay. And if I apply this result to this equation, what do I get? X of z is equal to, this is in the form of summation n varying from 0 to infinity alpha power n. It is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. What is alpha? A by z. And what is the condition? Magnitude of alpha should be less than 1, right? So in this case, alpha is what? A by z. So magnitude of A by z should be less than 1. Okay. Now x of z is equal to, if I simplify this, I get z divided by z minus a, right? And what is magnitude of z? So magnitude of a is less than magnitude of z, or I can say magnitude of z should be greater than magnitude of a. Okay. So therefore z transform of a infinite length right-sided sequence is z divided by z minus a with ROC magnitude of z greater than magnitude of a. Okay. And whenever we have an infinite length sequence, fine, let me write that equation again. X of z is equal to z divided by z minus a, right? And what is ROC? ROC is magnitude of z is greater than magnitude of a. Okay, so this is the z transform of a infinite length right-sided sequence. Fine. When I take it to z plane, this is real part of z, this is imaginary part of z. So whenever the sequence is infinite length, I will be having a circle in the z plane. Okay, so before that, let me write this again. X of z is equal to z divided by z minus a. How many poles are there and how many zeros are there in this polynomial equation? Or I can say, how do we define pole? The poles are what? Value of z for which denominator is 0 are poles. right? And what are zeros? Value of z for which numerator is 0 or zeros, right? So in this equation, at z equal to 0, I have numerator is equal to 0, so there are 1 0 at z equal to 0. Okay, so in this equation, at z is equal to a, I have denominator equal to 0, therefore I have one pole at z equal to a. Okay, so at z equal to a, it's a real number, right? At z equal to a, for example, if this is my a, okay, and I have 0 at z equal to 0. So we denote 0 as a small circle and we denote the pole as a small cross marks. Okay, whenever I write cross marks, it's a pole, and whenever I write a small circle, it is a 0. Okay, so it has 1 0 at z equal to 0 and it has one pole at z equal to a, and corresponding to a, I will be having a circle actually. Okay, and my ROC is what? Magnitude of z. The z values what I have to give should be greater than a. Should be greater than a. The shaded region what I am plotting here all are region of convergence. Okay, so magnitude of z is, it has to take values greater than a. Fine. This is the ROC. The shaded portion is ROC. Fine. In the previous video we have discussed Z transform of a finite length, right sided, left sided and double sided. So whatever the sided it may be, if the sequence is finite length, there won't be any circle in the Z plane. Okay, either it has to be greater than 0 or it has to be less than infinity or it has to be in between 0 and infinity. What am I talking about? ROC, right? Yes. So ROC of a finite length right sided sequence is magnitude of Z greater than 0. Okay, ROC of a finite length left sided sequence is magnitude of z less than infinity, and ROC of a finite length double sided sequence is in between 0 and infinity, which we discussed in the previous video. There ROC does not have any circle, whereas whenever we talk about infinite length sequence, we will be having a circle. Maybe one circle or two circle, more than two circle, depends upon what kind of sequence we have, that we will discuss in the later videos. Okay, fine. Next, infinite length double sided left sided sequence. So we'll see what is the Z transform and its ROC of a infinite length left sided sequence. We take up the sequence of the form minus b power n u of minus n minus 1. So it's a infinite length left sided sequence. How did I say that? Because of this term u of minus n minus 1. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, so u of minus n minus 1 is nothing but what? You take an intermediate signal and shift the signal, because it involves precedence rule, right? What is u of n minus 1? U of n shifted right one time, right? So 0 1 2 3 4 dot dot dot. So this is u of n minus 1. What do I need? V of minus n, which is equal to what? U of minus n minus 1. So v of n has to be taken mirror image. So when I take its mirror image, this flips here. So it starts from minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and it goes on up to minus infinity. Right? So this is my u of minus n minus 1. It is starting from where? Minus infinity and ends at where? Minus 1. Okay. So therefore it's a infinite length left sided sequence. Why left sided sequence? Because the amplitudes lies in the negative sides of n. Fine. Okay. Now the b is a constant. It can be anything. Okay. So we'll see what is the Z transform. So x of z is equal to formula summation n varying from minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. So x of z is equal to summation. So n is varying from where? Minus infinity and ends at where? Minus 1. And what is the value of x of n for minus infinity to minus 1? It is what? Minus b power n. And u of minus n minus 1, anyhow it is 1. It is 1 everywhere, right? Into left out term is z power minus n. Okay. So x of z is equal to summation varying from minus infinity to infinity. I'll take this minus out. Fine. B by z whole power n. I can write like this, no? So it is nothing but z power minus 1 whole power n. So z power minus 1 is 1 by z. So I'll write it as b by z whole power n. Fine. Now, so x of z is equal to minus of summation. So I'll interchange. What did I do? This is minus 1. I'll interchange the summation n varying from minus 1 to minus infinity b by z whole power n. I can do this without any consequence, right? So because if you add up, sum it up from left hand side or right hand side, I end up with the same result. Okay. So this, what I'll do, I'll put, I'll write it here. Put n is equal to minus n in the equation. Wherever n is there, I'll replace it by minus n. Why am I doing this? Because I want this to be positive infinity. I have negative infinity, so I want to convert it to positive infinity. So I'm replacing n by minus n. The reason I'm doing is because I want to bring it in the standard form, summation n varying from 0 to infinity alpha power n. I want this equation in this form. So I want this to be positive infinity. For that reason, I am making n equal to minus n. So what do I get? X of z is equal to what? Summation n minus n is equal to minus 1 to minus n is equal to minus infinity b by z whole power minus n. Okay, so x of z is equal to minus of summation. So cancels out, n varying from 1 to infinity. Okay, so b by z power minus n. Fine. Now, what do I have here? 0. But what do I have here? It is 1. So I want to bring this lower limit to 0. Okay. So what is that I need to do to bring this lower limit to 0? This we have done it a number of times in the previous videos, right? So what you do, you take this to the left hand side, call it with a dummy variable, which is n minus 1 is equal to m. Okay, take it to left hand side and call it with any dummy variable. I'm making a dummy variable as n, and write it in terms of n. What is n? N is equal to m plus 1. If this one minus 1 goes to the other side. Now in this summation part, wherever n is there, I'm replacing it by m plus 1. Okay. So I'll do it in the next page. So what do we have? X of z is equal to summation n varying from 1 to infinity. So it is b by z power minus n, and I have minus here. Okay, so I have to replace n minus 1 is equal to m. So what is n? M plus 1. So in this equation, wherever n is there, I am replacing it by m plus 1. What do I get? X of z is equal to minus of summation m plus 1 is equal to 1 to m plus 1 is equal to infinity b by z whole power minus of m plus 1. So x of z is equal to minus of summation, if this one goes to the other side, and if this one goes to the other side, what I get? M is equal to 0 to infinity b by z whole power minus m b by z whole power minus 1. Okay, if I remove this bracket, minus m minus 1, so I separated it. Now I'll take this to the outside of summation because it's independent of m, minus of b by z whole power minus 1 into summation m varying from 0 to infinity b by z whole power minus m. Okay, so x of z is equal to minus of, instead of writing b by z power minus 1, I'll write it as z by b power 1. Okay, so summation m varying from 0 to infinity, instead of writing b by z power minus m, I'll write it as z by b power m. Fine. Now I can use that standard result, right? So x of z is equal to what? Minus of z by b into, it is summation n varying from 0 to infinity alpha power n. What is it? 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. And what is alpha? Z by b. Okay. And what was the condition? Magnitude of alpha should be less than 1. And alpha here is z by b. Right? So this was the standard result we had. So I'll write it here. Summation n varying from 0 to infinity alpha power n is what? 1 divided by 1 minus alpha, provided magnitude of alpha is less than 1. So in this case alpha is z by b, so magnitude of z by b is less than 1. Fine. I'll just have to simplify this. X of z is equal to minus of z by b into, So if I take b denominator common, so b goes to numerator and this becomes b by z, and this b cancels out. So x of z is equal to, so what do I get is minus of z divided by b minus z. I can write this as x of z is equal to z divided by z minus b. Fine. And this I have to carry on. So magnitude of z is less than magnitude of b, or what is x of z? It is z divided by z minus b. Yes, magnitude of z is less than magnitude of b. So this is the z transform and its ROC for a infinite length left sided sequence. Okay. If I take it to z plane, so what is x of z? X of z was z divided by z minus b, and magnitude of z is less than magnitude of b, right? Yes. Okay. Now this is at z equal to 0. I have 1 0. In this case, z is equal to b. I have one pole. So if I take it to z plane, so real part of z, imaginary part of z. At z equal to 0, I have 1 0. At z equal to, say this is b, I have one pole. So whenever it is there is a pole, it is nothing but it corresponds to a circle with the radius of that value. Fine. And magnitude of z is what? Less than b, in the sense inside the circle of radius b, right? So this shaded portion will be my ROC. Okay, fine. So in the infinite length right sided sequence, ROC was outside the circle with radius a. For left sided sequence, ROC is inside the circle with radius b. Fine. Now let me just discuss last one topic. So it is infinite length double sided sequence. Okay, and it is of the form x of n is equal to a power n u of n minus b power n u of minus n minus 1. The double sided sequence is of the form something like this. So this is what this part of the sequence is infinite length right sided sequence, and this part of the sequence is infinite length left sided sequence. So combination of this is nothing but infinite length double sided sequence. So this is easy for us. So solution, what is the z transform of this? X of z is equal to, what is the z transform of a power n u of n? This is nothing but z divided by z minus a, right? Okay, and what was this ROC? Magnitude of z is greater than magnitude of a, ROC of this sequence, right? And plus, if I have minus, I have to write plus, because we have derived for minus b power n u of minus n minus 1, right? It was the form minus b power n u of minus n minus 1. So if I have minus, I have to write it plus. If I had plus here, I have to write minus here. Okay, so what is the z transform of b power minus b power n u of minus n minus 1? It is z divided by z minus p, z divided by z minus p. What is its ROC? ROC is what? Magnitude of z is less than magnitude of p. So therefore x of z is z divided by z minus a plus z divided by z minus p, and ROC is magnitude of z is greater than magnitude of a intersection with magnitude of z is less than magnitude of p. So it is, whenever we have two circles, the combined ROC will be intersection. Fine. Provided magnitude of b should be greater than magnitude of a. Okay, the radius of the circle b should be in the sense b should be more compared to a. How I will tell you. X of n, if it is a double sided sequence of the form a power n u of n minus b power n u of minus n minus 1, with z transform x of z is what? Z divided by z minus a plus z divided by z minus b, with ROC magnitude of z greater than magnitude of a. This ROC intersection with this ROC, which is magnitude of z is less than magnitude of b. Okay, so we'll see what happens to this intersection in ROC in the region of convergence. So say B is 0.9 and A is 0.4, just to convince you. Okay, I'm taking B as 0.9 and A as 0.4. So what about ZTO by this ROC? This ROC is what? A, right? A is, this is the pole at 0.4. So I have a circle with radius 0.4 and it is outside, right? Magnitude of Z is greater than A. ROC is what? Outside. Okay, and this is what? This is for the second sequence, left sided sequence, and what is its radius? 0.9. Okay, it has a circle with radius 0.9. And it is less than B, right? Less than B is less than 0.9. So outside, ROC is outside in this case, ROC is inside in this case. Okay, whenever I intersect these two, what do I get? If I just overlap these two in a single plane, I have to get intersection, right? This is the circle of radius 0.4 and this is the circle of radius 0.9. So for 0.4 it is outside, so this is for radius 0.4 which is outside the circle of 0.4, and for 0.9 it is inside. So inside I will write like this. Okay, so intersection is what? The region where both ROC intersects, right? Where does both ROC intersects? It intersects in between 0.4 and 0.9. Greater than 0.9 I have ROC of only this sequence, and less than 0.9 I have ROC of only less than 0.5 I have ROC of only this sequence. So the ROC of both the sequence is intersected in between 0.4 and 0.5. Okay, so therefore combined ROC of a double-sided sequence, infinite length double-sided sequence, is nothing but magnitude of Z is what? It is greater than radius greater than what? Smaller circle which is A, and less than bigger circle which is B. Magnitude of A in between magnitude of A and B. Okay, so this is the ROC, or if I write it in a separate way, so this is actually for A and this is actually for B, and ROC is in between A and B. So this is the ROC of a infinite length double-sided sequence.